All right. Welcome back.
Hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody.
Let me get Mars in here.
Yes.
But
Because I'm not working on script stuff tonight, I can actually show my screen.
yeah, can Discord let me make it big though? Oh, there we go. That's how.
It used to.
It just I really didn't want to for some reason right there. But
Such is
oh,
life. Such is life.
almost already set up. There we go. Nice and good. Is mine not behind? They're not behind. Or is
I
this an
don't
old thing?
think
No, no,
so.
no, no, no. It's fine. I don't have a
Oh no.
fancy thing for this one.
Which is having a heck of a time loading for me. Hey, you cool cat. Good to see you. Oh, I just hopped on. So sorry you get a few of Ferrex's trunk, you guys. This just happens to be what I'm working on tonight.
I can do that, Jamie. Let me find it. Like to change my view, please. To extra large. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna change it to this just so that Jamie doesn't see the answers.
Alrighty. Oh, you're putting them up on screen?
I'm gonna
Is
put
that
them
the...
up on screen so that I can give Jamie the answers
I
if
see.
they finish it. Okay.
Best of luck, Jamie.
It's in my terrible handwriting, so I'm sorry about that. But I will put it. Okay, Jamie, I'm gonna put it in the Discord, and I'm gonna put it in the couch, but I'm gonna give it in a spoiler. Okay.
Mmm.
So it's in a spoiler. This is the answer to the music logic puzzle.
Perfect.
Yeah, don't touch the image. I believe it is a spoiler. Mars, can you really quickly go to the couch and check and make sure it's spoiler
Yeah,
tagged?
totally, totally. Let's see. New unreads. Oh, that's a sketchbook.
The game we were playing, Birthday
Oh,
Cake,
very nice,
um,
cool cat.
yeah, as it's a logic puzzle. If you would like to do them yourself, if you know how to do them, you can see all the ones we did here. If you'd like to
Yep,
attend them
it's
yourself,
working just fine.
it is hidden. All right, great. Because
Yep,
I
it's
have
hidden.
all spoilers off, so nobody can hide anything from me. Um,
Ah, I see.
and yeah. So it doesn't look any different to me. That's why I was like, Mars, please make sure I did it right. Um,
I gotcha.
but
Okay.
we are
No
doing
worries.
we're on to Comic Corner now. So everybody
Yeah.
welcome who stuck around, stayed around. Yeah,
Yes.
I
Thank
agree, Jamie. I
you
just
around. Welcome to everyone who just hopped on.
if I wasn't streaming, I probably would have spent more time on it. But I need to Comic Corner, you know?
We,
Hello,
we got to
Bishop.
keep, especially since we are in January.
We are, oh
Really
god.
fun.
Yes, so if you don't know,
Oh man.
but maybe Bishop might not. Hello, Bishop. Welcome. It goes well because on January 30th, we are indeed launching our comic officially. It'll be officially
Yes.
launched on January 30th, Monday, January 30th. And we have started launch month. So there's a bunch of fun stuff happening. The big one right now is a exactly. Okay, Jamie, I'll dial it down. But what I will promote is something that gives you guys prizes, right? So there is a Draw This in Your Style challenge for the cover of the comic that you can find in the Discord. We can also find that. I did we have a time, Mars? I don't know if we actually set a I think it was noon, if I remember correctly.
Uh,
I feel like it was
you
noon.
mean like a
Like an
due
actual
date?
time that it was released. No, the comic. The comic actually had, like, a release time. I feel like it was noon. I feel like it's
We
in the
did set it
calendar as
for
noon.
noon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we did
noon.
set it for noon.
Noon Eastern Standard Time, JV.
Yes,
Um, well, we'll make sure to give more information as it happens, because we are doing everything. But I appreciate it. But yeah, so the draw this in your style challenge is essentially
definitely.
drawing Hotsun and Milano, and you get to enter. And as a first, the first place prize gets a little piece of art from me of any character you want, and a little short story. Oh, welcome, Raiders! This is the perfect timing. We just switched
Oh
over.
wow!
Hello,
Hey,
Owlbear Inn.
Raiders!
Always nice
Oh
to
my
see you
gosh!
and everybody here. We got our second anima. Very nice. Oh, that's a fun
Oh my
little thing.
gosh! Thank you guys so much. Anima
Oh,
Rytech, welcome, welcome,
Anima
welcome.
Rytech. That little bullet Twitch raid thing is a emote I haven't seen yet.
Oh, let me see.
Is it
Oh, it's
new?
cute. I
Nice.
like it.
Zelda, welcome.
Zelda Elf 90 Studios, welcome, welcome.
Oh no, I made something big on Twitch and now it won't go away.
Oh no, what have you done,
I
Ori?
found it. I fixed it. Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
And all was right with the world.
It's supposed to be Mushroom Cloud. Ah, I see, Anima. Makes sense, makes sense. Hello, Gypped Raccoon again. Everybody, always
Hey,
fun to
Gyp
see
Raccoon.
everyone. It happens, Anima. Such is life.
No worries,
I think I
Anima.
lost access to all my personal emotes.
I,
See,
I
I
think we need to
didn't.
call you Anima R in order to distinguish you from the other animas.
There you go. Anima R and Anima C.
Or do you like Rytak? Please let us know which you would prefer.
Oh, do
DJ
I?
Atax, hi.
I don't know why I have Hans's emotes. I must have been part of some sort of gifted sub train thing. Because I
What
didn't sub.
happened?
Not that I have the sub tiers for Hans Halfelven, which I'm not sure why, because even though great man, I didn't sub because my prime goes to Cinder right now. But I apparently have all of his things. So, you know, it's a surprise sometimes. The one thing I'll never know
That's
is
pretty nice.
if we ever lose our emotes from our channel, because they're still here and I can't imagine, you know, like they're still here. So I don't know. Biggie D, all right, all right.
Don't lose them. They're too cute.
Yeah, I don't want to lose them, but it's just funky, you know. All right. So, yes. So, comic comes out January 30th. Right now it's at noon Eastern Standard Time. There's a draw this in your style challenge in the Discord that you can win. Yeah, that's a sub thing, Jamie. I think I will always have access to them forever. I don't know why, but that's what happens. And then yeah, so draw this in your style challenge. The first place winner gets a piece of art from me and a short story from Mars. The second place winner gets to pick either a piece of art from me or a short story from Mars, and then the third place winner gets the other thing. So it's really great prizes. You can enter as many times as you want if you're that ambitious.
Yes.
You have until the comic
no limit. It's up to
launches, essentially, to
so
get it in.
January 30th.
Yep. That's that. Is that a big tail wag?
Yes.
Yes.
He's being very feisty.
He's more
in
upset.
this scene.
It's the little
Esther is carrying him away. He's not happy at all.
it's the little like
yes,
when the cats do the little tail tip
the
twitch.
furious tail.
Yeah. I mean, technically not, Jamie. Technically not.
Necessarily, Jamie.
Technically
I mean,
not.
we accept any and all styles.
Yeah, you know. If you wanna draw the letter H and call it Hotsun, like, you know. Will you win?
You never know.
Who
that
knows?
Could win first place.
I will say, if nobody enters, you kind of gotta, a good chance. But
Please enter.
please enter, everybody, please enter. Um,
You can call stick figures a style. I certainly do when we're playing Gartic Phone.
that is very true. That is very true.
Like, guys, I'm only coloring the comic. I cannot draw to save my life. This is basically a
PCN,
glorified coloring book for
I
me.
would be impressed. I would be impressed if I'm being honest. I would be more than happy. Literally, if
I'd
you guys
love to see
put in
that.
any effort to make something that mildly resembles how like our characters are, like we're overjoyed.
We're gonna love
You know?
it. Like, seriously.
It is more than, it makes us more than happy that you guys like exist and have any desire to like read it and like know the names
And, like,
and
do it
everything
at
and
all.
already have like favorites. And so it's like that's already a lot. So, the stick figure effort, the Among Us effort, it's just icing on the cake. I still
We'll
have your
take it.
birthday streamers on this one. There we go. It went away. I
Why
have
did
fixed
you have
it.
streamers, though?
Because we haven't used this. You haven't double arted in a long time.
Oh, is that where that came from?
Yes, yeah, it's because of
Oh my
this
God.
specific thing.
Guys, has it really been so long since I double arted?
Yes, it
Oh my
has.
God. I'm so
Um,
sorry.
But. So, what is our topic today? Well, our topic today is inspiration.
Yes.
And I think
AKA, I just want an excuse to talk about my favorite shows.
well, I think I'm gonna have like two sort of parts, right? My first part is gonna be sort of like what inspired me to be, an artist in any sort of form in like the first place, right? Because that's a very specific thing compared to, like what would
specific
directly inspire the comic or what
that
has currently
inspired.
made my current art style like a very specific thing. And it depends on for like which sort of thing, like drawing my items was inspired by other stuff than drawing my characters would be or anything like that. And yeah, so I'll go first, Mars, so you can draw, and then I'll get to draw while you talk about it. So I think it works out. No,
Yeah, we are not good multitaskers when it comes to
sometimes it's
talking
hard.
drawing.
Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. My brain's still on dead from before, so I need a moment. But yeah, so what I can, while I do have memory of like doing these doodle things in like elementary school, I consider the like actual start of when I like tried to get really into art was in 10th grade. And at that point in time, what got me into art is I found Tumblr, not found Tumblr. I finally got a Tumblr, right? Like that was when Tumblr was big before it died, and so I had finally gotten a Tumblr, and the big thing at that time was Gravity Falls season 2 was like coming out at that time, and so everything on Tumblr was Gravity Falls, and I was watching Gravity Falls and all that sort of stuff. So I was following a lot of people who were like drawing Gravity Falls stuff, and if you couldn't guess, I fell in love with something that was an AU called Monster Falls. And essentially what that AU is that everybody in Gravity Falls isn't just a person, but there's some sort of monster or creature. And so Dipper was a deer centaur, a servitor, and Wendy was like a werewolf. Mabel fluctuated between being like a mermaid and like a unicorn centaur. Grunkle Stan was like a gargoyle, and I think Grunkle Ford was like a sphinx, and this sort of thing, and it was sort of like one person made up this AU, and then the community just sort of, really enjoyed it and everything. And so I drew a lot of Deerper. Yeah, which was
Deerper.
yeah,
I
that's
love
what they call Deerper, right? Is the servitor Dipper, and a lot of that. And one of my first ever actual digital art, and so I got really into that, right? And I was also drawing some like Miraculous Ladybug. Was that around the time as well? Trying to think if there was anything specific at the start of there. A little bit of Adventure Time, but I never really drew a lot of Adventure Time because like it has a very specific style, which was not what like I was going for in my art, right? Like I was following like like this artist called Ellen Torrey Art. Like I was inspired a lot by them and everything, but a lot of like the Tumblr art style, right? And I drew a lot of that, and my first actual digital art pieces were of a humanized Bill Cipher and of Deer Dipper and Unicorn Mabel and all that sort of stuff. So I drew a lot of that, and um, then Voltron came out. And so Voltron was like really what pushed me into like going in the direction that I have my style now, was this sort of like, Avatar The Last Airbender, Voltron Legendary Defender, sort of like kind of leaning anime Western art style, where it's definitely not full anime, because I never had a desire to be full anime, but it was this kind of like in the middle thing. You've never seen Jamie? Damn. Well, Voltron Legendary Defender, I'm not necessarily going to be like, you have to see it. Gravity Falls, fucking watch it, Jamie. You like logic
Oh yeah.
puzzles? Watch Gravity Falls, okay? Like, it
It's
is.
literally
You need to see that. Did you watch Over the
so
Garden
good.
Wall? If you've not seen I can't remember if you were there when we watched
Yeah,
Over the
at our
Garden Wall.
watch party.
I don't think Jamie was there for Over the Garden Wall. Another great one, fantastic one. If you haven't seen Adventure Time, oh boy. But like top of the list there, Jamie. Gravity Falls is not very long. Honestly, it's like everything you could ever want. It's all about like ciphers and mysteries, and it's really, 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 really good.
Oh,
And
so good.
highly, 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 highly recommend that. But yes,
Ori,
so
not to interrupt you, but quick question. These wings I'm covering they're all on the outside, so they're all black, right? There's no
yes.
patterning going on
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I thought. Oh, I am getting good at this. Yay!
And so I
Carry
drew
on.
a lot of Voltron Legendary Defender, because everything I was sort of following at the time was drawing Voltron Legendary Defender. And that was sort of what like really sent me on the path of where I am now with like my art style. Like I would say that is like the jumping off point of like, this is me trying to have some sort of style. That is where I'm in now. Now, specifically, and then it's like a lot of shows, sort of like definitely how like Amazon has been doing a lot of their like animated things, how like Invincible was animated, and how Legend of Vox Machina was animated. If you have not watched the new Netflix Dragon Age Absolution animated show, it is absolutely fantastic, amazing, highly fucking recommend. God Mars, the villain in it, hella smash. I cannot
Really?
even. Holy fuck. Okay,
Oh, man.
he is voiced by the person who voices Shiro in Voltron Legendary Defender.
You're kidding.
And he is, yeah, Josh Keaton, and I cannot fucking deal. So everyone else is really, really great. Like
Oh,
the
I'm
whole
in
show
trouble.
is fantastic, but I gotta say, I'm doing a lot of gesturing that nobody can see. I'm gesturing to all of him, and I cannot. Again, birthday cake. The whole show is absolutely incredible, but I am not a person for villains. But Razart, okay, can okay, I gotta guess. I
She's
gotta
thinking
show.
of changing that tune.
Uh.
Oh well.
I guess
well,
I
if
gotta
we're
show
getting a full
images
example,
now.
I need to see this.
Yeah, okay. Let's I mean, this is not a full image of him, but I mean, this is very small. But I mean, he's already very pretty. Let's try to get some better images. He's just
Oh wow!
he's just absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, that is very aesthetic. I
Look
must
look
admit.
at this man. Look at this man. Also, Matt Mercer is in it as one of the characters. He plays a character, and honestly, the character looks
Oh,
like it's
shit.
just Matt Mercer in cosplay. So it's very
Where
it's
can
very
I
top tier.
watch this?
It's Netflix. I'm very sorry.
Ah,
It's Netflix. I'm very, very sorry.
why?
I know, I know. If it was my Netflix, I'd give it to you, but it's not my Netflix.
Don't
But
worry about it. I'll find a way to
yeah.
pirate it somehow. No, I'm kidding.
This, yeah, yeah. So yeah, this man, top. Yeah, no, this man also looks like Matt Mercer. He does, but he's not played by Matt Mercer. He's played by Josh Keaton. But the Matt Mercer character looks also like Matt Mercer, and it's very funny. There's also a lot of gay. If you like the gay, it's a lot of gay. It's a great show. The writing's fantastic. The storyline's great. Like
All
the
right, you're gonna
animation
have to
is
add
amazing.
this to the list
It's
now.
called Dragon Age Absolution. It's on Netflix. If you
Um,
like D&D related stuff, it's great. I'm gonna set you
well,
up.
shit.
It's just
There
so
goes
beautiful.
my weekend.
I just can't. I just can't.
When
So
did
yeah,
it come out?
I
I
think
hadn't heard about
very
the show at
recently.
all. Ah.
Dylan and I literally watched it when we were on vacation because we literally went and saw it. I don't. I'm trying to figure out when it aired. Oops.
Because I was about to say, like, with all the accolades you're giving it, how did
It was
this
so good.
never end
December
up
9th. December
on
9th.
my Instagram radar?
December 9th.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Oh, I
apparently,
need more people to
apparently
be talking about
the
this.
audience ratings are a 3 with about
Oh,
equal
bullshit.
split between 5 and 1. And the only thing I can think about is the idea that it's people who have played the game and are upset that it doesn't like, you know, follow the game or something. I have no idea about the game. Never played the game. I like knew it existed and it had a name. Like I knew the name was called Dragon Age Inquisition. Like that was it. Never played the game, never looked at the game, never did anything with the game. Only watched the show. Absolutely fantastic. So, you know, it's like Arcane, right? Like if you're trying to go into it and being like, you know, it's the game but a show,
It's
I'd
like
bet not.
you're expecting an authentic
Yeah.
recreation, word for
It's
word,
probably
dialogue
not
for
that looking
dialogue.
at the way these ratings are going, but like it's an amazing show. Dylan and I literally had like a question when we were questioning each other because we literally binged it. It's only 6 episodes. It's very easy to binge. You know, half-hour episodes, very easy to binge.
Oh, damn.
And we had like one question that we weren't really understanding, like sort of with the like hoopty loopties and whatever. And he watched it again with his brother because his brother loves the game, and you know, Dylan and I obviously love the show, so he's like, you need to watch it now, and he loved it, so he played the game and loved it. So I'm just saying.
That's pretty promising.
But Dylan like specifically looked out for that thing that we had a problem with. No, it wasn't a plot hole at all. It was actually top tier amazing. Like the idea that we had the question about it meant that it was good. Like it was like
Ooh.
So top tier, high accolades. But you saw him on the screen, right? You saw Razarin. That is again sort of like how my style has gone, right? So like this sort of Western high animation, right? Like I guess is the best way to put it, because you have like cartoon animation, right? Which I'm gonna say is like Owl House, is like Gravity Falls, is like Amphibia, where it's very, very, very stylized, right? But Aster wants to hug you, Jamie. If you're having a bad day, Aster will hug you. He'll do it.
Jamie, Aster is a big brother.
He's also gonna cook
not
you.
Just the crewmate. He's an actual big brother.
He's
So
also gonna cook you a nice
knows
comfort
just when you
meal.
need here on a bad day. He will be there for you. He will support you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He'll cook you a nice hot meal. He'll sit you down.
Yes.
He'll make sure you drank enough water today. That is who Aster is. But yeah, for specifically like comic related things, I definitely take a lot of inspiration from their online name is called the Starfish Face, but their real name is Star Pritchard, and she writes and draws. She completely produces the comic called Cast Off, and it is very, very good. It's still ongoing. Very, very high quality. She does a lot of teaching you how to write comics and stuff like that. So I found her sort of through that, with trying to like figure that out for myself. And she's very like down to earth about it, right? Like you will struggle, it will be hard, but you should do it anyway because it's awesome, sort of vibes. And you know what? I was I was happy to have that. So that was a lot of inspiration sort of there with the comic. I also love yes, that is the idea, Jamie. That is what I will be doing, as Mars and I have the ambition of having a sort of anime-esque opening for Outcast. We'll see how well that
Yes.
goes. But that's
Yeah,
what the
I
storyboarding will
don't
be
know if
for.
I'll have it done in time, but it's certainly
I'll have
I
something
enjoyed
done in time.
scripting
I
it.
did the
I
math.
enjoyed scripting it.
I did the math, and I'll have something done in time. It probably won't be colored and finished, but it will exist. And you know what? I think that's acceptable for the internet. If it's animated, people really don't care how sketchy it is. I mean, have you seen?
Oh,
But
I have seen.
so yeah. Yeah, I've seen it seems to be a really good way. So it wouldn't be in the comic, Jamie. It would be something that just sort of like exists outside of it. But it's kind of like an opening slash trailer sort of vibe, right?
Kind of like a YouTube promotional thing.
Yeah, so it would be something to post on YouTube, but also like on on Shorts and on Instagram Reels and on like TikTok and everything because those get a lot of views nowadays. And also just on top of that, because of how Reels and TikTok and everything is going, if it's animated, it's more eye catching. And also, 90% of how I think of the comic is in animation.
Oh, literally.
So I've said it before. My almost 90% of my playlist is this song works for either the comic itself or an AU of Outcast. And that's all the music I listen to now. Yes, 8.5 hours of 90% that music. I'm not joking. And
There's the completed frame.
and so but also like I think I said it once before that I when I picture a scene, the first thing I picture of it is if it was sort of an animated show, and then I sort of have to take that and distill it down into panels and everything like that. Pipe dream, Jamie. If Outcast takes off enough, like I won't say no. I will say, because I don't think this is a crazy thing. There will be videos that are voiced readings of the comic when we sort of get like pieces of it. That is something that Mars and I really, really wanted to do. We already know who would voice, at least Hotzen and Milano and everything like that. But that is something we really, really wanted to do. So there will be voices to them. It won't be like every time. It'll be like every certain amount of episodes to make like.
It would be like a special thing. Maybe for like
maybe every
maybe an intense episode or something like that. Maybe every 3 months or something.
I was thinking every like 10 episodes would probably be how it works out. Because then you have like a good amount.
Rounds out to about 3-4 months.
Yeah. But yeah, so it wouldn't happen all the time, but it would be like a good, video when it happens and everything like that, because that is, anybody can voice act Jamie. I mean, come on, Dante Bosco has one voice,
Yeah.
like, and look at him. He's doing pretty damn well, so,
Oh, Dante Bosco's doing amazing, are you kidding?
This is what I'm saying. So, you just gotta try.
If
you just gotta try.
You get called back for the same role over and over. You just play
or his son, or his cousin, or his nephew, or
anyone he's got. He probably played the daughter of Zuko.
At this point.
That's just how good he is.
And that's how memorable he is, right? There's definitely voice actors that you sit there and be like, wow, I didn't know that was the same voice actor. Like Alex Hirsch is an incredible voice actor. He did so many voices in Gravity Falls, and you would have no idea. But then you have Dante Bosco, you have I can never.
Tara Strong. She's the one who's doing those crazy voices left and right.
Well, I'm thinking of people who do
Timmy Turner, Twilight
Sparkle, a lot of
and
stuff.
Raven from Teen Titans.
Yeah.
That is a huge range. That's honestly what I aspire to. Why didn't this pop?
Do you know Ben Diskin, Mars?
Off the top of my head, no.
What can you give example of something he voices, Jamie? But I'm thinking of other voice actors that have like a very specific voice. The one I can never remember the name of, Kronk's voice actor.
Oh, Patrick Warburton.
Yeah, he has one voice. That's it. He doesn't, like, that's it. he is Patrick Warburton in every
He's
role.
decided this is my voice,
Gilbert
and this
Gottfried
is just how I will
is
sound.
is just a dude, you know, like that's just his voice. That's it. So, you know, don't let your dreams be dreams, you know?
Yeah. Do something with them, make them happen.
Yeah. But other
Okay,
good comics that have inspired me for this comic would also be Dreamwalkers. That was a webtoon. They recently got a. Oh, okay. I know. I know Haida. I know. I know Jack. I don't know Digimon very well, but I know Haida. I love Haida. Haida's my favorite character in Agretsuko. So, yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Oh, okay, I see.
No, very, very good voice actor. Who's my... To say who my favorite voice actor is? I really like... See, I'm gonna say I know, like, this is my favorite voice actor when I don't even know his name off the top of my head.
Fake fan,
I'm just bad. I know, like, 4 names. Yeah, John DiMaggio.
Okay.
He plays Jake the dog. He plays Bender. He plays, Jake Dog Bender, Hannibal McFist from Randy Cunningham. He plays Brother Blood in Teen Titans. He plays Draken in Kim Possible. Like, he's just in all my favorite shows. So it's like, oh, yeah, I really like him.
He gets the job done.
Oh, he does. He does. And he's either lovable goof / kind of a dick, because Jake the dog is kind of a dick, and or the evil doofus. I guess Brother Blood isn't totally a doofus, but he's kind of a doofus.
Very well.
He does.
What is happening here?
He does plays them very well.
Oh, that's an arm. Okay. This is hair. Got it.
But it's also one of those things where it's like, sometimes you can tell that it's him, and other times, like, you're not 100% sure that it's him or not. So it's definitely, like, a fun sort of thing. Oh, God, no.
That's also... No, that's another... No. Pretty sure that's an arm.
Oh, Bon, really? Okay.
Really?
No, I know exactly, like I know all these voices, Jamie. Well, I don't know Digimon, but
Bon from,
I think, yeah.
Or is
I
it
think we're
Bon from Seven Deadly Sins?
Now I'm gonna have to look it up. Which one? I know both of them.
I heard Bon and I'm like, oh, Bon. No, wait, that's spelled B-O-N.
And I'm thinking it's Seven Deadly Sins Bon. Yeah. Seven Deadly Sins Bon. Yeah.
Pretty sure this is...
Joe DiMaggio was Stumpy in Amphibia.
Is that an ear? That might be
Mars.
Yeah.
Joe DiMaggio is Stumpy in Amphibia, the cook of the diner.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I never would have caught that.
I know, right? Like, sometimes it's really, like, different. He's also got a few small voices in DuckTales.
Really good at disguising their voices. It is a true talent.
Oh, indeed. But again, the point is you can either be, you know, crazy or not, right? Yeah. Like, both have big names in it.
Here's how I kind of see it. You could be Tara Strong, or one of the others that changes up their voice, or you could be all the actors from Madagascar. Like, they didn't change their voice for that movie.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Most DreamWorks movies, they don't. They usually just try to go for the celebrity voice. But
yeah, Sinbad in DreamWorks is just Brad Pitt.
It's literally just Brad Pitt.
Oh, it's a good damn, Brad Jamie. Pitt. But like, it is literally just Brad Pitt. You know, like.
No, they hired Brad Pitt and they got Brad Pitt.
Exactly. All right. So I guess. Oh, also the final inspiration is also Red from Overly Sarcastic Productions' comic Aurora. That was also a big inspiration as well. That's always the fun of looking up voice actors, Jamie. Is always finding out like, whoa, God, they're this person in this other thing.
Oh, no. Literally, every time I watch with Ori, I am literally like, I know that voice. Where do I know that voice?
Who
And next
is?
thing I know, I'm on my phone looking it up because I like have to
You
find
have to
out.
tell me again. Who
Nine
is
times out of 10, it
Tanjiro's
always
voice actor?
Tanjiro's voice actor in English, it's Zach Aguilar, who is he's honestly incredible. Right now,
He's
he's
in
currently
everything.
playing Aether in Genshin Impact. He does live
Oh,
streams, and oh my god, he's so funny. Love watching him. But if we're talking about the Japanese voice
it's the
actor,
Japanese one that we keep running into.
it is Natsuki Hanai, and this man is
He ends up in
so
like everything Mars and
no,
I watch.
literally. He's been Vanitas in the case study Vanitas. He's Inaho in Out Noah Zero.
He's Apare.
What else? What else? He's Apare in Apare Ranman. And it's like you hear his voice every time, but each character has such a different energy
Oh
that's
yeah.
like you couldn't tell unless you were looking for it.
It's there's always like one. It's the same with like Joe DiMaggio, right? Joe DiMaggio does a lot of things, but when he laughs as a character, that's like the I
That's
see it,
when you
right?
hear it.
Like that's where
It's
it
like
is.
there's
So it's like
no way that
I
could
think
be anyone else.
with what's his name, the voice of Tanjiro. I'll never remember it. Just my lot in life.
Just call him Natsuki Hanai.
Natsuki Hanai. With Natsuki Hanai, it's when he like exclaims in sort of like a
It's
yell,
when
right?
it's when he yells in a heartfelt
Yeah,
way.
yeah. That's like, damn, there he is.
Like that's like there he is. That's
Yeah,
him.
that's
No
him.
mistaking it for anyone else. Like spot freaking on.
Yeah, it's like, wait, is that him? And we're like, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Alrighty. So Mars,
Yes,
what
my
are your
bingo card.
inspirations? What got you into writing? You know, sort of in the capacity you are now, and what is your inspiration for the comic and everything?
Oh, well, thank you for asking. uh, actually, it was interesting. My first foray into writing, as it were. I'm going to do my best to actually color while talking, you know, stretch those multitasking muscles.
You can certainly
Um,
try.
I will certainly try. My first foray, and this is something that always stuck with me. Maybe it's a little stupid to some people, but I still remember it. I was in first grade, and we were basically learning how to tell a story. And we had one of those like story booklets. Like you get a packet, it's stapled like a book, and there's a big square to draw your picture for your book. And then there's a bunch of lines underneath for you to write your story. So I decided to, and it doesn't really matter super to the story, but I told a story about how I fell off my bike. And my teacher had used it as an example of good writing. One of the things I remember her doing was on one of the pages I had written I had fallen off and drew a picture. So when she's explaining to the class, she goes, "Oh my gosh, she fell off her bike. I want to know what happens next." She flips the page. She's like, "Oh, good. She was okay." I don't know why. That just really stuck with me. And the teacher using it as an example just really stuck with me. And it was really interesting because it's not like I was constantly writing after that, right? It's not like I was like, oh man, someone said I was good at this. Now I'm going to pour all my time and energy into this. No, it was just kind of, oh man, I'm really good at this. That's kind of cool to know. So I didn't really keep up with creative writing. It was kind of more like as it was demanded via homework, but I did have fun with it more than half the time. And I kept up reading books. Like I devoured a whole bunch of books in elementary school. But then high school came around. And this was actually when I first got introduced to anime. I had started with Attack on Titan. And then I moved to Sword Art Online because that was a little tamer. I had started Attack on Titan and then I got scared off in season 1 because I was like, do I want to feel sad while watching a show? I don't know. Little did I know that would be all I do in the future.
Yeah, but only if it's happy at the end, right?
It's a
Like
happy
only if it's
well,
happy at the end.
That explains a lot about Attack on Titan now, don't it?
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
But yeah, not a happy ending, guys. Not a happy ending. But still a good story. So I switched to SAO. And that was a good taste of everything. Um and at the same time I also started watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So SAO was a good starter anime, but Full Metal Alchemist kind of showed me what a story could be. And I very
Hmm.
much took that, not to heart, but I definitely took it as inspiration because my next foray was creating a series. It was called, and oh god, this is where the high school comes out. This is where the cringe comes out, guys, because the way I named my series, I typed Ethereal Mage into Google Translate and I got Itero no Mahatsuke. And that is what I named this series.
Ooh, okay, I
And
guess I'll reveal some of my cringe when you're done.
okay, yeah, if I'm sharing, you better be on that chopping
I'll
block.
I'll reveal my cringe.
Now, I don't have any shame, but it just is kind of funny to look back and be like, oh yeah, I did do that. That was wow, my weeb was showing that day. But it was a
You
fun
know.
time working on it, but I definitely went like super ham on it. It was what the name implied, ethereal mage, in that the powers were based off the different elements of nature. Um you know, the characters, like if one controlled fire, their name was literally Kasai, the word for fire. If someone controlled light, their name was Hikari, the word for light. Like it was very surface level stuff.
I-
But it
Here,
was hmm?
you ready for my cringe?
Oh, go for it.
This is my first ever digital art piece that I was telling you guys about.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
It's glorious.
So
Bask in its
this is the
beauty.
Deerper and the Maple. That's Monster
Al-
Falls for you.
Also, Anima, I'm sorry it took me a while to reply. I am coloring, so unfortunately my chat box isn't open. But yes, I did start with Attack on Titan. It
I
actually
also
came as a
started with Fairy Tale
recommendation
Anima.
from one of my friends. And it was good. I made it past the scene, like where the first mission, but I knew leave. Okay, is it a spoiler? It came out years ago, guys. Is it a spoiler? It's probably not a spoiler. Levi's team dies.
Eh.
Didn't know if I would be ready for that because everyone online was saying, "Oh my god, it's so sad. Oh my god, I wasn't prepared for that." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, thank you, Anima. Thank you for confirming." It's like if it's been out for long enough, come on. But yeah, that was why I initially dropped it. Because you know, you get past the scene where you watch a Titan like full on eat somebody and swallow them whole. You're just kind of like, I don't know if I can do this.
I don't know what.
I mean, it's cool, but I don't know if I could continue. But I did continue, and it's well worth it. Got some good music, good characters, and I will say, I never felt they went as hard as season one ever again. Like, I gotta be honest, in terms of how intense the attacks were, it never got as brutal as season one. Like that first battle in, I think it was within Wall Maria, if I remember correctly, with the first squad, that was brutal as hell. Like Team Levi kind of meant nothing after that. I was like, huh, why was I putting this off for so long? That was nothing compared to watching a guy get eaten alive. Anyway, tangent over. Um, but yeah, long story short, I had started working on that project, and I had some friends in high school that were really supporting it. They were really interested in knowing like what's going to happen to these characters, what's going to happen to uh the plot, how's it going to evolve from here. And I was like, huh, okay, I'm kind of having fun trying to evolve this story and you know see where it goes from there. But I was really having trouble because you know it was my first time trying to write something original. But I was also, like I said, the cringe was hard. So every single character had some kind of gimmick. And after a while, it was just like, I can't continue this because I don't have a direction. And my inspiration is becoming a bit more like copying at this point. So it was a project I eventually let go. Um, but then in the meantime, I started writing fan fiction. And I found that as a good introduction to writing because here are characters you already know and love. You know their personalities. You're just putting them in a new scenario and seeing how they respond to that. So it's kind of like the hard parts are already done for you. You just gotta finish the rest. So I started doing that, but I never shared anything. It was all private. It was all for my enjoyment. Um, and then I continued doing that all throughout high school and college. I kind of just kept writing fan fictions. I actually got a lot on my uh on my flash drive now. It definitely built over the years. Funny enough, it wasn't until last year that I decided to make an archive of our own account, and I'm actually posting stuff on there. Um,
She has a really fun fan
in
fiction. You should
in
read
much
it.
to my in much to my amazement, people were like leaving positive comments and enjoying stuff. So it's like, obviously, we started working on the comic long before then. But it was kind of nice to have that little boost. Like, oh my gosh, people actually like what I'm doing. What is this? you know? Um, why does fan fiction scare you, Anima? does, does it scare you to read or does it scare you to write? Because I could see fan fiction being intimidating in that, like,
You have to do the
if
character
you're taking
justice.
it exactly, if you're taking it seriously, because I'll be honest, I've read fan fiction where people are like, hey, I apologize for being out of character. I just really wanted to see these guys in this situation. And it's like, that's fair. It's just for fun. But I've certainly come across the conundrum of, oh, am I doing this character justice? Would they react like that in that situation? Like for the fan fiction Ori had mentioned, it was a mob
Forgetting the name
psycho
of the
like, hey,
town and having to go back and redo
oh,
it all.
not only I forgot the name of the town, but I was like literally like for the character I was using season 2 model rather than all the development he got in season 3. So it's like, okay, he smiles at this, he grins at that, he warmly smiles at that. Okay, how many times can I say the same thing? It
That's definitely a
really
vibe,
forces you
Jamie.
to think outside the box.
Well, Anima, I'm very sorry that you were forced into a smut that you were not wanting to be a part of.
I am
But
so sorry, Anna.
fan fiction does
Wait,
not all smut. Uh,
you guys might like this. The the person who got me into fan fiction, same person who introduced me to Attack on Titan. And the fan fiction they showed me was a John Marco multi-chapter modern
oh.
AU reincarnation.
Oh my god.
Really well written,
That's the problem. The
I
smut
gotta
is
say.
usually well written, and that's the wild part.
Uh, See, here's the thing with smut fan fiction. Like, if you're looking for it, great, good, more power to you. I know I certainly have times when I do that. Would I like the smut to be balanced out with actual emotion and chemistry via the characters? Yes, please. That's half of the reason why I'm here.
There's gotta be a story involved. There's gotta be a story involved. But it also, fan fiction doesn't have to be smut. Mars's fan fiction that I'm talking about is literally just bros being bros from two completely different shows, and it's
Okay,
beautiful.
I have 3 fan fictions up there right now. One of them is a kind of sort of major character death one. Death is implied, but it is
God
also a
damn,
character
Jamie.
study as well. The second one, like Ori said, fun bros being bros. What if two psychics met in a cafe type thing?
It's
And then the
beautiful.
third one I just posted for Christmas. Uh, it was a relationship one, but literally it's just fluff. It's so much fluff that it'll rot your teeth out.
Okay, Anima, I have a very brief story to say about that. I I had a friend. Well, I had a lot of friends in high school, but I had a friend that apparently
Is she your
liked me.
classmate?
Yeah. No, 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 no,
Oh,
no,
that's
no, no, no,
awkward.
no, no, Mars,
That's
just wait, just wait, just wait. I had a lot of friends, and one of my friends apparently had a crush on me, and I didn't know.
no,
Someone
that's not in
else,
here.
another one of my friends, decided to write fan fiction about us. And I didn't even read it. I was so pissed off at this person after I like found its existence. I took the piece of paper. No, 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 no. It was smut. They told me it was smut, and I took the paper and I shredded it. Like I pushed this person was like, look at this. I pushed this person to the ground
Oh
and I took
my
this
god.
packet of paper and I shredded it and I went over to multiple garbage cans and I threw it in multiple garbage cans because I was so pissed off at this person
Ow.
that they would decide to do this. It was terrible.
See,
I don't
I
even
don't
remember
know
at this point. I don't even
why
remember who wrote it.
one.
I know who was written it
I'm
about
like,
with me, but I don't remember who wrote it.
I'm like,
They're
what?
erased.
Just why? See, that's the thing. Shipping fictional characters, fine. Shipping real life characters, I don't know. I mean, you do you, and as long as no one's getting hurt in the process, but oh, good God, it's
You
awkward.
can't leave PCM. Yeah, you're not allowed to leave, otherwise this happens.
Yes, we end up talking about smut in fan fiction.
And that apparently how it is more common than we'd like to believe that people think it's
Uh,
okay to write smut about real people, and on top of that, real people that they know, right? Like it's
yeah,
like there's a step where it's like
look
real
someone in the
people
eye after that.
that are like
Feels so awkward.
celebrities or like influencers. At least there's like a, okay, I can see that you think that there's like a level of like anonymity or whatever, like there's a like a barrier, right? Like at least I can get that, like, while it's still kind of weird, like it's like at least there's sort of that. But then it's like, no, I know you in real life and we have like some sort of relationship and I'm going to essentially like write about that. It's like, what
Weird. Why?
what oh god, Emma. I mean, I essentially shaped someone. Like I said, I have forgotten this person. This person is erased from my mind, but I distinctly remember essentially beating, not actually beating them up, but like shoving them to the ground
Oh my
and
God.
removing. No, I was
Ori!
pissed. I was pissed. I was so pissed.
Damn.
I was so pissed. Come
Holy
on.
crap. See, guys, these are the stories I'd never know unless we did stream.
It's more just like it doesn't come up, you know? Like it's one of those memories
I
that
mean,
it's just like
how
I'm
the
not
hell
trying to
could it?
tell, you know, I'm not just trying to tell people around this.
No,
Oh
this is not
god,
a core
anima.
memory. This is one of the ones you want to throw in the pit and forget.
No, yeah. Rage and
But
fury. A proper
to
New
each
York lesson.
to each their own about fan fiction. Personally, I think it's a good avenue to get started, or at least it was for me, because I was definitely having trouble
Damn.
coming up with original characters, original plot lines. So it was nice to kind of have like, here's this character, all gift wrap for you. You just gotta put them in a scenario, and that's sort of true for role playing as well, because I also did that throughout high school with a very good friend of mine. Um, and we did that back and forth,
I'm so
and
sorry,
they,
anima.
oh,
It's
condolences.
me, Jamie.
But yeah, with the whole role playing thing, I mean, it was fun. Um, and they commented and complimented on how much I sounded like the character. And most of what I was writing was dialogue and internal monologue. So I was like, okay, I really enjoy doing this. I just gotta, write the connecting pieces, the prose, the metaphors,
Mm-hmm.
the describey bits. Ah, so when Ori came forward to me about making a comic, I was like, ooh, this is a way for me to just write dialogue, not have to do the connecting bits. I could
Damn.
just focus on the element I enjoy.
And I
but
came
it
to
was more
Mars
than that.
being like, I can think of the stories and cool ideas and stuff, but I bad at writing, hate writing. The only kind of writing I can do is rant writing, and that's why my YouTube channel will be rants because that's all I can do. Uh, but I was
Oh,
literally like,
rant
I
writing is
want to
a
draw.
special brand.
I want to have original characters and draw them and have all of these lovely, like all of these great things, the cliches and tropes and all this beautiful stuff and make a thing. And it's like, but
And
I
I want
hate
these
writing.
characters, and I want to love them and see
Yeah,
them grow
essentially
and then put
our
them through misery.
essentially Mars and I's like script writing sessions are me just word vomiting for like 20 minutes and Mars being like, yeah. But you
I
gotta
am literally
connect
just
it
like,
here.
uh-huh,
And it's
yep,
like, oh,
uh-huh,
okay, let me
okay,
word
I'm
vomit
I'm
about
writing
that for
that
20
down.
minutes.
I'm writing that down. We vibe hard during those sessions. I think I screwed
I
up that
want hot
line.
chocolate,
Oops.
Jamie. This is so sad you live
Ooh,
so far away.
okay. What is happening with this arm? I think
Your art
I
teacher
know, but
quit.
I
Oh no.
don't
I'm so
think I
sorry.
do. Who quit?
Anima's art
Oh
teacher.
no.
The one that
Oh,
looks
I'm so sorry,
questionable.
Anima.
Oof. Oofa. Oofa
Oh,
loofa.
I have no idea why my screen disappeared. Or oh, there it is.
Sorry,
Okay.
that was me.
I thought that was me.
No, it was me.
Aw, thank you, Jamie. That's so sweet.
Who looks high?
I think the art teacher.
I see.
Maybe?
Maybe.
It could be the Ferrex I'm coloring here.
I mean, I think Ferrex in this entry looks high most of the time.
I mean that's true. He is a poor sleep deprived boy.
In
Okay,
this panel,
Ori,
he is.
I
Yeah, I
got
got
some
it, Anima.
questions regarding the lines here. I think I got them right. This is an arm, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This is an arm,
Hold on. Oh god, oh god.
maybe.
I screwed up. Okay.
Okay. Is this a second arm? This whole chunk here?
No.
Okay, what is that?
So the little line you have to the left of that line is still arm.
This is still arm.
Yes, that's still arm. Then that middle
Okay.
section is Aster's back, which
Okay.
is technically not drawn like that. So you know what? Just leave that blank.
Okay, because I was about to say he's got a bit of a humpback, and I'm a little
No,
confused.
it's actually more like his design has changed, so it's kind of like
Okay,
slightly different. But you see that other line under his hair?
this
All
one.
of that's arm, yeah, and then to the left there's a
Okay,
line, and to the right there's a
that.
line. That's arm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
arm.
Uh-huh. And then to the left,
Is this arm?
no, that's not arm.
That's not arm.
To the left, that's arm.
Is this
Yeah,
arm?
that's arm. So it kind of comes down like
Okay,
right behind his head.
I see. And
Yeah.
then this here is skin,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Between the hair and the collar.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, got it.
Oh,
See,
damn, Anima.
sometimes there's just lines I cannot tell.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on.
All right,
There's a lot of
merge,
things.
merge. F flat.
But yeah, but once I actually drew like Aster's back, his vest
Well, because
technically works
he has all
differently
those
because of the
vests
feathers.
and clasps and
Yeah,
things.
yeah, it kind of like halters. It's like a halter, so it's like
Yeah,
I need to fix that.
gotta figure that out.
I know how it works. I just have to like do it, you know, because I didn't
I
have how it worked at that point in time.
So, okay, well, I have talked for eons about how I got into writing. One of my biggest inspirations, and it's something I constantly reference, it truly is Persona 4. Just like the way the story is told and the whole idea of the characters like facing their flaws head on and coming out better for it in the end, that is a storyline that will always appeal to me for very personal reasons. but it also just makes for intriguing character development as well. And I think it's just a really good vibe. And honestly, so many of the series I have watched since then have a variation of that plot where it's like Sarazamai, the first one to come to mind, is like this character is hiding something. The lesson
No.
here is that secrets are going to come out eventually, and it's up to you if they destroy your life or not.
It's a good anime, but it's weird.
It's a good anime. If you have not dabbled in the weird before, though, I would dabble in the weird first before
Yeah.
you try that one. If you must, I would say, what's it called? Suratama, much tamer compared to that. Still weird enough, but not
Saranzanmai
overly so.
anime.
Yeah, Sarazamai. I kid you not. I was crying by the last
Oh,
episode.
I was crying, but I will say there's a lot of parts that are like, oh god.
Oh yeah, no, there's a
Oh
ton.
god.
I'm not even going to deny that. It is one of my favorite shows, but it's so hard to recommend to
Yeah,
people.
I don't even remember. Mars like came to, she's like, I really like this, and I think we have like similar tastes, and I think you'd be okay with it, but like I want to be sure, and I'm like, I'll be okay, and I'm like, it's
I'm
weird, and
literally
she's like,
sitting
it's
there like,
weird.
please don't judge me.
I didn't judge her, and we've watched weird things.
Oh, well, now we're watching Food Wars, so you know.
Okay, it's not the same. But I get it. If I remember correctly, the first season is like really ham with it, and then it like lightens up very quickly. Like I don't remember a lot of the things happening later seasons.
The food gasms.
Yeah, like yeah. Specifically, the ones that are the weirdest, in my opinion, are when they like eat the dried squid and like peanut butter or honey and stuff. Those are the ones that
Yeah,
are like way too wild.
those are the ones where it's like, oh, why?
Yeah, those are the ones like, please, can we not
Still,
do this?
very good show.
Oh, worth it. I mean, hella
Like,
worth it.
I'll be honest, if it's done with a purpose or it's amounting to something bigger, I can look past a lot of that stuff. Like, even with another recent watch of ours, The Vampire Dies in No Time, there are so many
It's
innuendos, so
all
many sex jokes, but it's literally all for the sake of comedy. Like, they're not trying to do fan service. They're not trying to be like, oh, yeah, this is a
oh.
serious relationship, you guys. No, it is
I'm
all
so
one
sorry,
big
Anima.
joke.
I'm so sorry that you attempted to watch it with your grandma. If she wasn't ready for it, it definitely wasn't it.
Oh,
However,
no!
please watch it on your own. It's very worth it. I promise that is not, it's not what it is. Okay? Like
Yeah,
it's so much better. Like I'm
no, and
sorry.
Anima, it is truly worth it. Soma is a
He's
very
so
good
beautiful.
protagonist. He's the perfect blend of too cocky, but
Exactly,
still
Jamie.
humble.
Exactly, Jamie.
And let me tell you, that is a hard balance to pull off. Like,
I'm so
I'm
sorry,
trying to
Anima.
think the last time I've seen like cocky done terribly. Maybe it was with the redesign of Dante from Devil May Cry.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only one I can think of. That's the only one coming to mind because I saw it recently. No, he is the perfect blend of, he's cocky, but he's still got a lot to learn and he does recognize it. Like, it's not just a he wins constantly. He never
Yeah,
faces opposition. No, no, no. He does.
he does.
Or he
I'm
will. I haven't gotten to those
I
episodes yet.
promise he does.
But
It's
Ori
it's
swears
coming
that
up.
he does.
It's coming up. Well, yeah, Anima.
Imagine he's
Berserk is
going to get
hard.
his butt handed to him very quickly.
It's so good. And so it's not as quick as you'd like, might expect, but that's what makes it better, right? Because it
Mm,
does put him on this like, wow, winning's so easy, and like all the classes are easy, and that everything is easy, and then it's like, wait, shit, he lost. He didn't get
yeah.
first. Like he only got like second, or it's like all this sort of stuff, and it's like,
Well,
but it's how he reacts to it.
Haikyuu does something very similar in that I don't think it's the first tournament, but the second tournament
Jamie,
in that
no.
series. they lose. Like they straight up lose. And there's a whole scene where they're being sad about it and they have to work past it as a team.
Yeah.
And it's like not only is it a great character moment and realistic, but it gets the job done. Like they're not invincible. They're not saved by being the protagonist. Plot armor. They don't have plot armor. That's
Mm-hmm.
the phrase I'm thinking of. It's like
Jamie,
when they have plot armor, it stops being interesting.
It's so funny that you bring up American Psycho today is because Dylan literally talked about it with me like just today or yesterday. It's like hilarious. Like we just talked about it.
That is one hell of a coincidence.
Yeah, anima. Yeah. That's why I don't try to watch any shows with my parents. Unless
You know,
they've wanted me to watch it, right? I don't even try.
it was funny. I was watching an anime with my dad. Actually, my dad was the one I watched Sword Art Online with. Um, so that was interesting, especially when we got to the fairy dance arc.
Oh god.
Yikes. But we actually did have a good time watching it together. And then we there was another anime we were trying to watch together as well. I forgot what it was called. But that one was pretty tame as well. It had an interesting story. I don't think we ever finished it. But I do think that was the precursor to us watching stuff like Vox Machina and Invincible as well, because like those go hardcore.
It's cuz it is good anima. It is good. I promise. Uh,
It really is.
it
Give
is good.
give it another chance. Give it another chance,
It's
Anima.
worth
Just
it.
either watch it by yourself
Well,
or find a understanding friend. Oh, Doubleman Crybaby. That made me cry my eyes out. I will never watch it again. It
oh,
was
Vox Machina
amazing.
is so
10
good.
out of 10. You could not pay me to watch it again.
Yeah, never again. Never ever ever again.
I
I'll
I
talk
will
about
fall
it.
into a depression.
I know about it.
Oh, I hear it's really good. I don't
Johnum
know
likes
what they're
Berserk.
going to do with that manga though, because the creator passed, right?
I don't know. I never followed Berserk. Dylan watched it. I know Johnum loves Berserk.
I think the creator passed.
I see.
So I don't know what they're going to do with that manga.
Devilman Crybaby, Jamie. It's like a once and never again. Not because it was bad, but because it
No, it
doesn't have a
wasn't
happy
bad,
ending.
but it does not have the happy ending, which honestly, in the world they created, like it would not make sense for a happy ending. Like if you
It's
watch it, you'll see why. Basically, God's a dick in that anime. And he's out to torture one person in that show, and torture him he
well then,
does, and
Jamie, you should
millions by
watch.
proxy.
If you haven't seen Devilman Crybaby, watch Devilman Crybaby. Um, I won't spoil it.
It is very good. I
Same with
will
if
say
you
this.
haven't seen Cyberpunk Edge Runners from Netflix. That also has a what I would consider a sad ending. Apparently Dylan doesn't, but he's just dumb.
I would also say, Jamie, if you do find yourself enjoying Devilman Crybaby, also watch Japan Sinks 2020. It's made by the same creator and the same studio. They have a very unique art style that is
They
just
do.
so interesting to watch. It's literally the definition of squash and stretch.
Mm-hmm.
It's very rubbery, but
Incredibly
not distractingly so.
smooshy.
It's still very pleasing and interesting to watch. But I will say, Japan Sinks 2020 definitely has some hard moments, but it has a more hopeful ending. If I had to pick between the two of them, I would say Japan Sinks 2020 would probably be the one I'd rewatch because it's got a couple more layers to it and it's got the more uplifting ending as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, I should probably talk about inspiration, shouldn't I?
Such is life.
Such is life indeed. Well, I talked about the big one, Persona 4. I would say following that, Teen Titans, definitely a huge inspiration for me as well. I think more so in terms of like I'm trying to think how to describe this. The biggest thing I took away from Teen Titans was Raven's story arc because the build up to Trigon was perfect, the reveal was perfect, the emotions were like everything about that
That's so
whole
funny.
arc
My favorite
was
arc
fantastic.
is the Slade makes Robin his puppet arc.
Oh
That's
yeah, that
my
one was
favorite
good too.
by far. I love that one. Robin's my favorite.
I'll
So
be honest. I have a Raven bias. I really do.
I have a Robin
I
bias.
just
There's no doubt. But
I just
but
she's so
Robin
good. She's so
being
good.
absolute bros with Raven, top tier shit. Top
Yes.
tier shit.
Oh, so good. So good.
Good night, Anima.
See you, Anima. Let us know if you decide to watch Food Wars again.
Mars is watching it now. It's worth it.
I'm having a good time. I really am.
I'm so glad.
I will
I
say
mean,
though, make food while you watch it
you
though.
need to
You
eat
will
food.
be starving. Okay. Hey Ori, quick question.
No. Hmm.
Okay. How do you want the back of this hair
So
uh
he has a
highlighted?
reference, and you can find.
Duh.
Yeah, there you
Oh, there
go.
it is. Okay, I just had to scroll over a
I'm
bit.
like, he has a reference. It is there. I'm like, I did this.
Okay. Well, I did that totally wrong, so let's get rid of that ugliness. Ew, that was gross.
Mars,
But oops.
I have an interesting question.
Oh, shoot.
So I when you read like a I've gotten like art books from some of my favorite artists and everything, and they sort of start usually talking about their like story and their journey and this sort of thing, and a lot of them sort of talk about like knowing they wanted to go into art like very early, right? Like
Mm,
I always drew when I was a child, and maybe I had like an interim where like people told me that like drawing anime was bad, and then I stopped drawing, or like my
mm.
parents said art would never amount to anything, so I stopped drawing, but I got back into it, right? While I definitely can sit here and like force myself in a way to recall like doing these little comic doodles with my friend in like elementary school, and like I know I took like an art class. I have the sketchbook from it in like elementary school.
Uh-huh.
There's a large period of my life which was mostly definitely like I think probably fourth and fifth grade, but definitely like middle school and then like ninth grade of high school, that I just didn't draw. And it had nothing to do with being like shunned in any way or being told that like your art, like don't draw anime or something. Like I never had that.
Mm,
I was never told that. My parents were always very supportive or didn't really care. So it was like, you know, I didn't stop because of that. And I only then got back into drawing, like I said, in 10th grade. And that's what I consider to be like where my passion for art started, right? Before I was just
mm.
like, I feel like every kid doodles if they want, like it's not necessarily a huge thing. But then it was like in 10th grade was like, I want to draw again and I want to
Mm-hmm.
be good at drawing. And that is what I consider to be like where I started to get to where I am now. What do
Uh-huh.
you think? Because your reference was the art the writing thing sort of very early, in first grade, right? As sort of
Yeah.
your like jumping off point. Do you feel like you sort of had a very strong interest in the being like something you wanted to do for a lot of your life from there, or it was just kind of like later on you picked it
So
back up?
it's very interesting to think about because it was in the back of my mind that, oh, this is something someone told me I'm good at. But when you're in elementary school and stuff like that, it's mostly assignments. And that's how a lot of people see writing as well, like where you say every kid doodles when they're bored or something, so you didn't really consider yourself an artist. Not many kids can say like, "Oh yeah, I totally write during my free time." Like if it's not for an assignment, you're not going to write.
Mm-hmm.
So my big thing then was just reading books and taking in all these other stories that kind of fueled these worlds I would create. Um, big moment when I started writing is I would say high school, because that's when I started to be like, okay, let's start doing this for fun. Like let's see if we can get an actual story out of this. And I got one chapter out of it, which, not a bad start. You got to start somewhere. And even though I make so many jokes about cringe and, oh, don't look at it, it's so horrible, don't read it, it's kind of like what you say, Ori, when you say save your works over the years, because you can see where you started to where you ended up. And I think that's goes for writing as well. Like you have to start somewhere. Um, my big thing now is that I want my writing to be on par with like good quality writing.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes that does lead to a block because you do overthink things. You do think, oh, maybe I should have this character say something else. Maybe something else would happen in this scenario. Is this what would logically happen? So sometimes you either got to take a step back. That doesn't really work for me though, because I find if I take a step back, I have trouble returning. So what I do instead is I just start typing, because a draft is a draft. It can be edited at any time. It can be deleted, refined. Like it is a draft. It is not your final submission. So you can always redo that. Um, I'm not sure if I answered your question, though. I think I went off on a bit of a tangent and then forgot what the actual question was.
I would just ask if you felt that you like what age, what grade do you think that like your writing journey started that caused you to be on the path you are now, right?
Mm.
I think that's a better way of sort of phrasing what I wanted to ask.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha. In that case, I would definitely say high school. Um, Not only was I doing uh that big project I had mentioned, Iteru no Mahotsuke, but I was also doing a lot of poetry at the time. Um, And I thought for a second, like maybe that was what I wanted to focus on, because poetry, I kind of used it as a coping mechanism. I was very much the person who sat in my room and wrote sad poetry to help figure
Mars was
things
edgy.
out. I was edgy. Yeah, guys, I was listening to Simple Plan on repeat.
I still listen to Simple Plan. Don't come at me. Don't come at me like this. There's multiple Simple Plan songs in the band they
Dude,
use. Stop coming at me like this.
I was vibing to Simple Plan while doing the panels earlier today.
Stop,
Don't
stop.
worry, nothing's
Don't come
nothing's
at me.
changed.
uh,
But no, I did use poetry as a coping mechanism. And then I I stopped it for a while. There was a period where I did stop writing, and that was freshman year of college. It was a new situation. I was away from home. I was still trying to figure out how this whole school without my parents over my shoulder thing worked. So
mm,
it was an adjustment, and a lot was happening that semester. I didn't really have a whole lot of time to write. And then the following year, I had settled in and I had decided, if I'm going to make the most of this experience, I got to start doing things again on my own. No outside encouragement or anything, just on my own, decide to do it. And Inktober rolled around. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not an artist, but this always seemed interesting, and pen counts as ink, so why not? I'll give it a shot. So I did, what was it, 2019 Inktober? Oh, if it was 2019, then it wasn't sophomore year, it was junior year. Okay. So yeah, I started doing that, and that kind of got me back in the habit, having the prompts and having to think up a story around them. I started doing more poetry to fit the prompts, but then I also started doing a little bit of fan fiction because I wanted to challenge myself because I was like, okay, poetry is kind of the easy way out. Let's try bringing some characters in. Let's try actually having a situation. Let's try bringing in those connecting bits that I struggle with so much. Oh, probably in college, I got back into the swing of things. Uh, and it kind of worked out from there. Um, but I always kind of wanted
Oh
to
no, Jamie.
make a story of some kind. Another one of my big inspirations, and I was actually just reminded of this today because ironically I was watching it today. For any of you who have seen The Tales of Peter Rabbit by Beatrix Potter, I'm talking about, I think it was like BBC produced in England children cartoons, very well drawn. Like they are absolutely gorgeous. Um, but just this idea of like Miss Potter in her little cottage cabin writing these stories about woodland animals and things like that was what younger me wanted. I was like, yes, this life sounds amazing. And I would love to write about little woodland critters all day. So, and when you watch those stories, or even if you read them, they are not super happy. Like they may be about animals wearing clothing, but there are some harsh realities that happen in them. Uh,
Yeah.
if you've ever seen The Tale of Jemima Puddle Duck, you will know what I'm talking about. Oh, I would definitely say that was one of my big inspirations as well. I can't tell if I did this right, but it is done.
I'll fix it if there's a problem.
I don't want you to fix it. I
It's
want to
not
get
like
it
it's a
right on
big
the
deal.
first
It's not like
time.
it's a big deal. It's not like you do it every panel. It happens every once in a while.
Yeah, well, then something I want to get better at.
You gave up
But
on writing a long time ago, PCM? I'm sorry.
oh,
You should
really?
try it again if you want to do it.
Well, PCM, you may say you've given up on writing, but look at the story you created for Neffy.
Oh goodness, Jamie.
That's still a version of
Oh,
writing.
about honors being an honor student? Yeah, college hits different.
Oh,
I don't
college is very different.
as a classically like gifted, I'm doing air quotes that you can't see, child in like grade school and then going to college and still not studying. I honestly did surprisingly well, but I definitely didn't do absolutely amazing because I went to gifted and talented, which is like a little thing that you got like tested for, and then you for like elementary school through 6th grade, you got like and I think I started in like 2nd grade. Oh, that sucks, Jamie. Uh yeah, and you go to like the little thing, and that's where I learned how to do logic problems and Sudoku and everything, and that's how I loved it. But I never ever studied because I never needed to. Like you didn't, right? Like it didn't matter. I never ever studied. So that's why I never ever studied in college. That's a lie. I did study for I can think of I definitely studied for some classes. However, no, that's how it works, Jamie. You know why? You know why, Jamie? Because even though you're like 0.033 lower, I promise you, because this happened to me, I promise you that one of your friends who also like you think is in like relative both they coast on life is great almost failed out of college and you didn't know and they had to like appeal to the college board because they didn't they didn't do well enough. And then you learn this like right before graduation and you're like, what the fuck? Excuse me? Excuse me? Moral of the story is you should study for classes. Even if you don't know how to
Great,
study.
great lesson, Ori.
But I still got like a C in some classes. And no, I actually only got a C in one class. But I did end up studying for classes. However, I specifically only studied for memorization classes. I never did well in non-memorization classes. That is my one skill. I have memorization down, and so I can study flashcards and I can know the flashcards. And thankfully, science is a major that enjoys you memorizing things like hundreds of tree scientific names and certain little facts about them, or mammal scientific names and how to tell the different vertebrae from each other, and etc., etc. So yeah, thankfully science is was a memorization course, uh, tracked, but I do say I did not do well in any of the classes that weren't that. Like by far. Like like if I put in effort to study for the classes that were memorization, I got A's very easily. But if I literally couldn't, like I didn't know how to study, and I didn't know at all how to study. Um and I like I did very bad in those. Yeah, that's the vibe though. That's the vibe, Jamie. I took an immunology course. I hated every second of that. I think I got like a B minus or a C. I think I scraped by a B minus. But then I took dendrology, 130. I think is the end
Whoa,
score,
whoa, whoa.
because it's like every test you could get like 10 points of extra credit on or something, and it was like, damn. Hey, C's
It'd be
get
like
degrees,
that
PCM.
sometimes.
C's get degrees, you know?
That they do.
That they do indeed.
Except if you're in grad school, then it's no way or the highway.
Well, that I have no experience with. It was this one professor, Jamie. I had this one professor, my favorite professor ever. His name was Dr. Leopold, the man, the myth, the legend. He is he is the man that I would like to be, if I'm being honest. And yeah, I love calc. I did very well in calc too as well. Love calc.
Well, that was like
I
your
had to
bread and butter.
scrape by in chem. No, in original chemistry I did okay. In inorganic chemistry I did okay. In biochemistry, that was tough. I don't know why, but that one, not for me, which is kind
I
of
was
weird.
about to say, why is
It
biochemistry
it
tougher?
mattered what topic it was. Like certain topics
Ah,
I did very well, like the ones where you have to rotate like the direction of the atoms in your mind in order to answer questions. Easy peasy. I can do that shit all day long. Um, Calc 2, I agree, Jamie. Calc 2 was my easiest math class ever, by far. Calc 3 was okay, and then differential equations, that killed me. That killed me real bad.
okay. Ori,
The
another
context
drawing
there, Jamie.
question.
Yeah.
Is this a tail
Uh,
or
can
a
you
table?
can you zoom out and tell me exactly before that? I need before it.
So before it, Ferrex is dragging,
Yeah, so
Aster is dragging Ferrex off. Now this is Cinnatan, and this is the following
yeah,
panel.
so that's gonna be
So,
him like pushing off of a log. So there's nothing behind him. The bottom is
okay,
like a
so
log.
not a
Yeah,
tail.
yeah, yeah.
Cool. Cool, cool.
Yeah, multivariable calculus was nice. I enjoyed it. Honestly, I don't remember much from it, but I enjoyed it. I did well in that class. But Diffie-Q killed me, and then I tried to take partial Diffie-Q, and I dropped that class real fast, hot like a potato, and took pickleball instead.
Oh, nice. At least
Ooh,
you got
that's
to
gross,
trade
Jamie.
up.
Yeah, I had to take one online course. This is really funny. I hate physics, okay? I don't know
Mhm.
why, because I love math, but I absolutely despise physics. I have never liked it. I have never enjoyed it. I hate physics class the most out of all of the sciences, okay? Least favorite by a lot. Now, in my college, because we were a biological science based college, you only had to take full normal physics if you had to full normal physics if you were in one of the engineering courses. Oh, I'm sorry, Jamie. Well, Jamie, I do like physics in one very specific circumstance, which I'm getting to, and that is that we had the option as bio majors in order to take physics of life. And now, while
Ooh.
everybody talked about hating that class, I had to take it online because it was like the last time they offered that class at all. Otherwise, you had to take regular physics.
Whoa, 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 what happened?
I hit my microphone with my wild gesturing. My apologies.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so I took physics life online, and it was the coolest shit, man, because it it like brings it into perspective, right? Because when you take like normal physics, it's all about like machines and like pulleys and levers and torque, and it's like ugh, I don't nah. But when you take physics of life, what does it tell you? It tells you um how like tree limbs work, and how like snail shells work, and why crabs and seagulls can open snail shells even though they're really really strong, and what causes trees and rocks to break and all this sort of stuff, and it's great. Damn, that's a lot of time, Jamie. Instead, I almost did a math minor. And the only reason I didn't get a math minor is because I hated linear algebra and I hated partial differential equations, and I couldn't make myself sit through them. It was not worth it.
Yeah, I was so overjoyed when I found out I did not have to take math in college. Like, don't get me wrong, I loved math and it treated me well in high school. Um, but by college I was like, "Oh, sweet. I don't need to do this anymore." And then I picked up my major and they were like, "You have to take statistics and public policy." And I was just like, "No."
I statistics, I hate learning statistics. Applying statistics is very fun when I knew statistics. I no longer know statistics because it doesn't matter in my life, but
Statistics is fascinating.
see, Jamie,
It is very fascinating,
I'm
especially when you learn all about bias and stuff like that.
I'm less about astrophysics and more just about flat astronomy, okay, Jamie? I love
Oh,
astronomy,
sign me up for astronomy
but
any day.
astrophysics, I don't know if I could get that
It
far.
it was so funny. My roommate, before she became my roommate at college, she had a astronomy minor. So she was doing that. And what color do I want to use here? Nope, not that color. And what she had to do for her class is she would have to go out and track the stars and the moon's position.
hmm
So she had to do this on like deathly cold nights. So she would hit me up and she'd be like, "Hey, I gotta go do my astronomy homework. Want to come with me?" So we'd just be standing out there at like 10 p.m., 1 a.m. in the morning, tracking the stars. I'm like, okay, it's freezing, but kind of having a good
You're
time.
like, I'm kind of here for this, you know?
Like, I'm sort of here for this, you know? It's not too bad, I will say. Why did I bring up that page? I didn't want that. Okay,
Alrighty.
so now it's this color. Oh, good morning, kitty. You woke up?
Well, I think
Okay.
what we will do is we will say good night, for it is late and I'm Russian again, but that is not what I wanted. It is late, but
You are
we had a
like
lot of fun.
Ori.
I am. I had a lot of
Hey,
fun.
I'm not doing this right.
I hope you enjoyed logic puzzles, Jamie. If you do end up solving it at another time, all the power to you. I don't know why that one was so incredibly hard. We totally just missed something, but yeah, it was a pleasure hanging out with you all tonight. I hope you have a great night.
Yes.
Make sure to
Well,
tune
for
in
joining
tomorrow
us.
for the D&D race aesthetic tier list. Okay, it is happening. It will be happening tomorrow.
Yes.
It's
No,
not
no
smash or
smash or pass
pass.
this time.
It's just a tier list,
It's just
okay?
a
We're
tier list,
not
so
doing
don't
smash or
come at
pass.
us, please.
However, and then we will of course talk about, I'll give our little session recap, and we'll apparently hear the tragedy of Darth Neffy the Wise from PCM, and
Oh,
yeah,
finished just in time.
that's it. All right,
Uh,
guys,
could
thanks for
come
hanging
out
out.
worse.
Smashability. All right, good night,
We'll
everyone.
consider it, Jamie.
Hope to see you tomorrow.
See
Bye.
you then. Night, everybody.